Have you ever wondered why your blood pressure stays high, even when you've been eating healthy? You've cut out the chips you cook at home, maybe even switched to whole grain bread and low-fat salad dressing. Yet your doctor still frowns when looking at your numbers. You're not alone, and it's not your fault. Many seniors across America are unknowingly sabotaging their blood pressure through foods that are marketed as healthy, but are quietly loaded with sodium, additives, and blood vessel damaging ingredients. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, nearly 2 out of 3 adults over 60 have elevated blood pressure. And while genetics play a role, diet is the #1 factor that determines how quickly or how gently your blood pressure rises with age. The truth is, some of the foods we've trusted for years, heart-healthy soups, protein shakes, and even whole-grain snacks, are secretly raising our blood pressure every single day. But here's the good news. Once you understand which foods are the hidden culprits and what simple swaps you can make, you can often see improvements in your readings within just 10-14 days without new medications or extreme diets. So if you've been trying to manage your blood pressure but nothing seems to work, stay with me. Because in this article, we'll uncover 6 so-called healthy foods that quietly raise your blood pressure, and more importantly, we'll explore doctor-approved alternatives that help bring those numbers down naturally. Why? This matters more. After 60, as we age, our arteries become less flexible. Think of them like garden hoses. When they're young and elastic, they handle water pressure easily. But as they stiffen, even a small increase in force causes strain. That's what happens inside your body when your blood pressure rises. At the same time, your kidneys, which filter sodium and water, lose some of their efficiency. That means excess salt stays in your bloodstream longer, pulling in more fluid and increasing pressure on artery walls. The result? Fatigue and headaches that you might blame on age, morning dizziness or swelling in your ankles, and over time, higher risk of stroke, heart attack, and kidney disease. But the problem isn't just the salt shaker on your table. It's the hidden sodium and additives in healthy foods you'd never suspect, like canned soup, veggie burgers, or low-fat dressings. A Harvard Medical School study found that over 70% of sodium intake in Americans comes not from home cooking, but from packaged foods labeled as healthy, like turkey slices, plant-based meals, or low-calorie snacks. So yes, your salad might be fresh, but the dressing, cheese, or healthy topping could be doing more damage than that occasional fast food meal you feel guilty about. In this video-style guide, we'll explore the 6 healthy foods that quietly raise blood pressure, including one that most seniors eat for breakfast. Why your body becomes more sensitive to salt, sugar, and preservatives after 60, backed by research from the Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic. Simple, science-backed swaps that help lower blood pressure naturally while still keeping your meals flavorful and satisfying. Bonus habits that support heart and kidney health, such as morning hydration, magnesium-rich foods, and stress-reducing routines. And don't worry, you won't have to give up everything you enjoy. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness, so that you can make smarter, small changes that protect your arteries and support your energy every day. Let's start by clearing up one of the biggest myths in senior nutrition. If it's labeled low-fat or heart-healthy, it must be good for me. Unfortunately, that's not true anymore. Food companies often remove fat, which gives flavor, and replace it with sodium, sugar, or chemical preservatives to keep the product tasty and shelf-stable. Here's an example. A single serving of low-fat canned vegetable soup may have 800-900 milligrams of sodium, nearly half the recommended daily limit for someone managing blood pressure. And that's before you add crackers, bread, or salad dressing. Meanwhile, some protein shakes or meal replacement bars contain more sodium than a small order of fries, all hidden behind healthy branding. That's why even careful eaters can't always explain why their blood pressure doesn't improve. They're doing everything right, but the food labels are working against them. The encouraging truth is that your arteries can heal. Your blood pressure can improve even in your 70s or 80s simply by changing what's on your plate. In a long-term study from the National Institutes of Health, Seniors who followed a low-sodium whole food diet for just 30 days saw an average drop of 11 points in systolic blood pressure, similar to the effect of some prescription medications. And they didn't have to eat bland food. They just replaced hidden sodium items with real, naturally flavorful ingredients like herbs, garlic, citrus, and potassium-rich vegetables. So, in the next section, we'll reveal the top 3 healthy foods that secretly raise blood pressure, including one breakfast staple that almost every American senior has in their pantry right now. And don't worry, for each one, I'll give you a clear, easy replacement so you can enjoy your meals and protect your heart. Coming up next, we'll start with the biggest shocker, a health food that's marketed as perfect for heart health, but can quietly spike your blood pressure for hours after eating it. The heart-healthy canned soup. That's anything but. If you're over 60, chances are you've reached for a can of low-fat or reduced sodium soup on a chilly evening, thinking it's a smart, light dinner choice. After all, it's warm, comforting, and easy on digestion. Right? Unfortunately, this healthy habit is one of the top hidden causes of high blood pressure in seniors. Even soups labeled low sodium can contain 800 milligrams of sodium per serving, and most cans hold 2 servings. That means you could be getting up to 1,600 milligrams in a single meal, nearly the full day's recommended limit from the American Heart Association, AHA, which advises no more than 1,500 milligrams per day for people with hypertension. Why does this matter? Because sodium attracts water, and extra water in your bloodstream increases the pressure against artery walls. When your arteries are already less elastic with age, that extra pressure can lead to chronic hypertension even if you're eating healthy foods. And it's not just salt. Canned soups often contain monosodium glutamate, MSG, preservatives, and modified starches that may trigger inflammation and cause the body to retain even more fluid. A better choice. Try making your own soup with fresh or frozen vegetables, low-sodium broth, and herbs for flavor. If cooking isn't your thing, look for boxed soups labeled no salt added or unsalted, and always check the label. A good rule of thumb, aim for less than 300 milligrams of sodium per serving. Add flavor with potassium-rich ingredients like spinach, tomatoes, or beans. These help balance sodium levels in your bloodstream and lower pressure naturally. Research from Johns Hopkins Medicine shows that eating potassium-rich foods can reduce blood pressure by up to 5 points within just a few weeks. The healthy breakfast that sneaks in sodium and sugar. Many seniors believe that breakfast cereals or oatmeal packets labeled heart-healthy or whole grain are the perfect start to the day, but take a closer look, and you'll often find added sugars, sodium, and preservatives that quietly undermine your efforts. Even some instant oatmeal packets, granola, or bran cereals marketed as low cholesterol can contain 200-400 milligrams of sodium and up to 12 grams of sugar per serving. That's like eating a small cookie for breakfast, but with a healthy label. The combination of refined carbohydrates, sodium, and sweeteners causes your blood sugar and insulin levels to spike, followed by a surge in cortisol, your stress hormone, which can constrict blood vessels and raise blood pressure. Over time, this morning roller coaster can lead to fatigue, headaches, and higher average blood pressure throughout the day. A better choice: skip the boxed cereals and go for old-fashioned rolled oats, cooked with unsweetened almond milk or water. Top it with fresh berries, walnuts, and a drizzle of cinnamon or honey for natural sweetness. Cinnamon, in particular, has been shown in Mayo Clinic studies to improve blood circulation and help regulate blood sugar, both essential for keeping blood pressure steady. And if you need something quick, try overnight oats, 1 to 2 cup oats, cup milk or almond milk, tablespoon chia seeds, fresh fruit, or a few crushed almonds. No cooking required, and you control exactly what goes into your body. The healthy salad. Dressing that wrecks your arteries. Salads should be one of the healthiest meals you can eat: crisp veggies, fiber, and antioxidants. But if you're topping your greens with store-bought salad dressing, you might be undoing all that good in one pour. Most bottled dressings, even those labeled light, low-fat, or organic, contain high levels of sodium, added sugars, and trans fats, all of which contribute to higher blood pressure and artery inflammation. Just 2 tablespoons of typical dressing can have 250 per 400 ml of sodium, and many people use double that without realizing it. Worse, the low-fat versions often replace oil with corn syrup, soy protein isolates, and chemical thickeners that disrupt your metabolism and kidney function. Why it's especially harmful for seniors. Your kidneys, which are responsible for filtering sodium, lose about 1% of their function every year after age 40. So by the time you're 60 or 70, your body is less efficient at clearing out excess salt. That means the same meal that was harmless in your 40s could now send your blood pressure soaring. A better choice: make your own dressing in 30 seconds. Tablespoons olive oil, tablespoon apple cider vinegar or lemon juice, 1 power 2 teaspoon mustard or herbs. Olive oil is rich in polyphenols that help relax blood vessels and improve circulation benefits, confirmed by Harvard Medical School's Mediterranean diet studies. If you prefer something creamy, blend Greek yogurt, garlic, and lemon juice, a delicious, heart-friendly alternative that adds protein and calcium without all the sodium. Why? These small changes matter. It's easy to dismiss small details like a little sodium here, a sprinkle of sugar there. But over time, these tiny choices accumulate. Imagine this: you're adding 400–600 mg of hidden sodium from dressing, 600 from soup, and another 300 from breakfast. That's over 500 ml before lunchtime, more than your entire daily limit. By simply swapping a few ingredients, you can help your body relax, reduce fluid retention, and even improve energy levels. Most people who make these changes report feeling less bloated, lighter, and more alert within a week. Now that we've looked at the first 3 hidden foods, in the next section we'll uncover 3 more surprising culprits, including a healthy snack that's secretly worse for your blood pressure than chips, and a beverage most seniors drink daily that silently stiffens their arteries. We'll also talk about how to read food labels the right way so you never get fooled by tricky marketing again. The healthy snack. That's worse than chips. Let's talk about something nearly every senior keeps in their pantry: the healthy cracker or veggie chip. They come in shiny bags that boast "made with whole grains, baked, not fried," or gluten-free goodness. They look like the perfect guilt-free alternative to potato chips, right? Unfortunately, many of these snacks are loaded with sodium, processed oils, and even hidden sugars to enhance flavor and crunch. A small handful, just 10 to 12 pieces, can contain 300–500 milliliters of sodium, not including what you might dip them in. According to the Cleveland Clinic, even baked snacks marketed as low-fat often contain monosodium glutamate, MSG, and soy-based fillers, which can increase water retention and raise blood pressure in older adults who are already salt-sensitive. And here's the real danger. Unlike chips, these snacks feel healthy, so you're more likely to eat more. It's not hard to finish half a bag while watching TV, meaning you've unknowingly added over 1,000 mg of sodium before dinner. A better choice: swap those crackers for unsalted nuts, especially almonds or walnuts, or air-popped popcorn seasoned with herbs and olive oil. Nuts provide magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that directly help lower blood pressure by relaxing blood vessel walls. In fact, a study from Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that seniors who ate a handful of unsalted nuts 5 times a week had lower blood pressure and 17% fewer cardiovascular incidents than those who didn't. So next time you crave something crunchy, remember, it's not about removing snacks, it's about upgrading them. The healthy drink that silently raises blood pressure. If you drink bottled green tea, vitamin water, or diet soda, thinking you're making a smart swap, I have a little truth bomb for you. Many of these so-called healthy beverages are quietly doing the opposite of what they promise. Even if they're sugar-free, they often contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose, sodium-based preservatives, and hidden caffeine that can stiffen blood vessels and spike blood pressure for hours. For example, a 16-ounce bottle of zero-calorie vitamin water can contain 80 to 100 milligallons of sodium and multiple chemical sweeteners that trigger insulin resistance, one of the root causes of hypertension. Meanwhile, bottled green teas marketed for antioxidants often have more caffeine than a cup of coffee, which can raise blood pressure temporarily and cause irregular heartbeats in sensitive adults. And diet sodas? Researchers from the American College of Cardiology found that people over 60 who drank 2 or more diet sodas a day had a 25% higher risk of developing high blood pressure compared to those who didn't. A better choice: stay hydrated with filtered water, herbal teas, or fruit-infused water. Try adding lemon, cucumber, or mint to make it refreshing. Or brew your own green tea. 1 cup brewed at home typically contains less than half the sodium and 40% less caffeine than bottled versions. If you need a mild energy lift, consider rooibos tea or hibiscus tea, both naturally caffeine-free and clinically proven to lower blood pressure by improving arterial elasticity, as shown in studies from the National Institutes of Health. Remember, hydration should nourish your body, not stress your heart. The protein power. Trap processed meats and plant-based alternatives. Here's one that shocks most people trying to eat healthy. Both turkey slices and plant-based meat substitutes, 2 foods often seen as clean proteins, can be silent blood pressure saboteurs. Let's start with deli turkey. Even when labeled lean or low-fat, a 3-ounce serving can pack $700 or 900 mg of sodium, plus sodium phosphate preservatives that prevent spoilage but can irritate kidneys and increase calcium loss in bones. And those trendy veggie burgers or plant-based patties, they often contain textured soy protein, yeast extract, and added sodium to mimic meat flavor, some reaching 500–700 mg of sodium per patty. That's before you add cheese or sauce. The Mayo Clinic warns that ultra-processed proteins like these may cause vascular stiffness, making arteries less flexible and blood pressure harder to control, especially in adults over 60. A better choice: choose fresh, whole proteins like grilled fish, eggs, lentils, or lightly seasoned chicken. If you enjoy plant-based meals, make your own bean patties using black beans, oats, and herbs, no preservatives required. Here's a heart-healthy recipe idea. Cup black beans, mashed, 1 to 2 cup oats, TSP olive oil, garlic, onion, and herbs to taste. Form patties and bake or pan-sear for a nutrient-rich meal with less than 100 mg of sodium per serving and plenty of potassium and fiber. How these foods add up and what to do about it. It's easy to underestimate the cumulative impact of hidden sodium and additives. You might think, oh, my soup has a bit of salt, my snack a little more, and my dressing another pinch. But by day's end, your total could exceed 3,000 mg of sodium, double the healthy limit. This constant pressure load is like slowly overinflating a balloon. Your arteries stretch, stiffen, and eventually weaken. The good news: your body can recover. When you cut back sodium and eat more potassium and magnesium-rich foods, your arteries begin to relax again within 1–2 weeks. In a Cleveland Clinic study, patients over 60 who switched to a low-sodium, whole-food diet for just 14 days saw an average drop of 10–15 points in systolic blood pressure, comparable to prescription medication, but without side effects. Next time you're at the grocery store, here's a simple trick to protect yourself. Look for sodium on the nutrition label. If the amount per serving is more than 10% of your daily value, put it back. Ignore front labels like low-fat or heart-healthy. They're marketing terms, not medical ones. Watch for ingredients like MSG, yeast extract, and sodium phosphate. These are code words for hidden salt. Check portion sizes. Many healthy foods list small serving sizes to appear low in sodium, even when you'd naturally eat double or triple that amount. Choose foods with fewer than 140 mg sodium per serving. This is the FDA's definition of low sodium. Now that you know the 6 healthy foods most likely to raise blood pressure, from soups and cereals to snacks and drinks, it's time to talk about something even more powerful: how to reverse the damage naturally. In the next section, we'll cover simple evidence-based food swaps and daily habits that can lower blood pressure, strengthen arteries, and restore your energy without giving up flavor or joy. You've now seen how sneaky, healthy foods can quietly raise your blood pressure. But here's the best part. Your body is incredibly resilient. Even after years of eating the wrong foods, your arteries can heal, your blood flow can improve, and your energy can return. Let's look at how you can undo the damage through simple, science-backed changes. No medications, no starvation diets, and no flavorless meals. Bring back real food. The DASH and Mediterranean approach. If you've ever heard your doctor mention the DASH diet, dietary approaches to stop hypertension, it's because it's one of the most researched and effective ways to lower blood pressure naturally. In fact, studies from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, show that following the DASH plan can reduce systolic blood pressure, the top number, by 8 to 14 points within just a few weeks. But here's the key. The DASH approach isn't a diet. It's a lifestyle shift focusing on foods your grandparents would recognize. Fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains like oats and brown rice, beans, lentils, and nuts, lean proteins like fish, chicken, or eggs, and most importantly, minimal processed foods. Combine that with the Mediterranean lifestyle, using olive oil instead of butter, adding herbs instead of salt, and eating more fish, and you have a blueprint for lifelong heart health. The Harvard School of Public Health found that older adults who followed a DASH Mediterranean hybrid diet were 30% less likely to suffer heart disease and 20% less likely to develop dementia. Doctor's note: think of food as your medicine cabinet. Every bite either heals or harms, and natural foods help your body regulate blood pressure the way it was designed to. Power minerals: potassium, magnesium, and calcium. Most seniors focus on reducing sodium, but that's only half the story. The other half is replenishing minerals that balance sodium's effects, especially potassium, magnesium, and calcium. Potassium helps your body excrete excess sodium through urine. Magnesium helps blood vessels relax. Calcium supports normal heart rhythm and muscle contraction. When these three are out of balance, often because of processed food or diuretic medications, your body retains fluid and your blood pressure rises. Here's where to find them naturally. Potassium: avocados, bananas, spinach, sweet potatoes, beans. Magnesium: almonds, pumpkin seeds, oats, leafy greens. Calcium: Greek yogurt, sardines, broccoli, fortified almond milk. The Cleveland Clinic notes that adding just one potassium-rich food per meal can lower blood pressure by 4 to 5 points within 2 weeks. Try a smoothie with banana, spinach, and yogurt. For breakfast, or baked salmon with a side of sweet potato for dinner. Your taste buds and arteries will thank you. Hydrate smarter. And at the right times. Hydration plays a huge role in blood pressure control, but not all fluids are created equal. Seniors often drink too little during the day and too much right before bed, which can lead to nighttime urination, nocturia, and disrupted sleep, both linked to higher morning blood pressure. Smart hydration plan: drink 8-10 cups, about 64-80 ounces, of water spread throughout the day. Have your last full glass about 2 hours before bed. Add a pinch of lemon or cucumber to your water for natural electrolytes. Avoid caffeine-heavy beverages in the evening. Even decaf coffee contains small amounts that can interfere with sleep, and don't underestimate herbal teas like hibiscus, chamomile, and rooibos. A study from Tufts University found that drinking 2 cups of hibiscus tea per day lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 7 points within 6 weeks. Move gently but consistently. Exercise doesn't have to mean running marathons or lifting heavy weights. For people over 60, it's about steady, moderate movement that boosts circulation and lowers stress hormones. Even a 15-20-minute walk after meals can make a noticeable difference. Here's why. When you move, your muscles use up glucose, which keeps insulin levels stable, and stable insulin means stable blood pressure. At the same time, your arteries become more flexible as blood flow increases, helping to reduce stiffness over time. Best low-impact activities for seniors: brisk walking, swimming or water aerobics, chair, yoga, or Tai Chi. Light resistance band exercises. The American Heart Association recommends 150 minutes per week. That's just 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. Even gardening or walking the dog counts. What matters most is consistency, not intensity. The stress-pressure connection. You can eat perfectly and still have high blood pressure if you're constantly stressed. Why? Because chronic stress triggers the release of cortisol and adrenaline hormones that raise heart rate, constrict arteries, and push blood pressure higher. And as we age, our bodies take longer to recover from stress, meaning the pressure stays elevated for longer periods. That's why incorporating relaxation rituals is just as important as eating well. Try these daily habits. Deep breathing for 2 minutes before meals. Morning sunlight exposure to regulate cortisol and melatonin. Minutes of gratitude journaling to calm your nervous system. Listening to soothing music or nature sounds before bed. In one Johns Hopkins study, seniors who practiced mindfulness or deep breathing saw an average drop of 9 points in systolic pressure after just 8 weeks. Remember, calmness is medicine. The more relaxed you feel, the more your arteries relax too. Sleep, the forgotten pillar of blood pressure. Health, a good night's sleep is nature's most powerful blood pressure medicine. But poor sleep or fragmented sleep can actually raise blood pressure levels for the next 24 hours. That's because your body needs deep sleep to reset hormones like cortisol and insulin and to allow your heart rate to drop to its nightly rest mode. Tips for better sleep after 60. Keep your bedroom cool, around 68 degrees, and avoid screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Use a weighted blanket or soft white noise to help your body relax. The Mayo Clinic recommends at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night for adults over 60, not just to control blood pressure, but to strengthen memory, mood, and metabolism. Flavor without fear, enjoying food again. Many seniors fear that lowering salt means giving up taste. That's simply not true. You can retrain your taste buds in just a few weeks and discover richer, more satisfying flavors than before. Use these natural enhancers instead of salt. Fresh herbs, basil, thyme, rosemary, garlic, and onion powder, no added salt. Lemon or lime zest, balsamic vinegar, black pepper, or smoked paprika. Fun fact, the American Heart Association found that people who replaced salt with herbs and spices experienced better blood pressure and higher meal satisfaction in only 4 weeks. So go ahead, season generously, just not with salt. Let's recap what we've learned today. Hidden healthy foods, soups, cereals, snacks, drinks, dressings, and processed proteins can quietly raise blood pressure through hidden sodium and additives. By replacing them with real foods, balancing minerals, moving daily, and managing stress, you can lower your blood pressure naturally, often within weeks. You don't need to give up flavor, joy, or convenience, just make smarter choices. Remember, aging doesn't mean losing control of your health. Your body is still capable of repair, renewal, and strength. It just needs the right tools. As one cardiologist at Cleveland Clinic put it, every healthy meal is like taking a small dose of medicine, but without the side effects. So take that first step today. Check your pantry. Swap one hidden sodium food for a real nourishing ingredient. And notice how your energy, sleep, and focus begin to shift. Question for you. Which of these hidden healthy foods surprised you the most, and which swap will you try this week? If this guide helped you, share it with a friend or loved one who's managing blood pressure. And remember to subscribe or follow for more doctor-backed, food-based senior health tips that keep you strong, calm, and thriving at every age.